Today, I'm headed up to the Champlain Islands, one of my favorite places to take photos right now, to work on a project I've been making photos for a couple months now, and to talk about this camera, the Vivitar XM 1K. Last week, I made a trip back home to visit family, and I stopped at a regular thrift spot for me and found this wonderful little camera. It's a Vivitar XM1K. It's a APS camera, which is a discontinued film format. Holds the rolls of film, hold either 40 or 25 shots per roll. All the film that I found has been 200 speed. The beauty of it is it's small. It's a smaller format than 35 millimeter, which makes the cameras naturally smaller. It is an interesting little camera. It's basically just a point and shoot with full auto settings, flash control, timer. So yeah, we're gonna wander around in the islands and see what comes of this camera, and hopefully soon we'll have the film developed and scanned and we'll be able to look at it. So I'm just about done with this roll. Got like 4 shots left. And it's starting to rain, so I think I'm gonna head home. But when I get back, we'll take a look at what the scans look like from this film. Hopefully it's cool. I'm not sure how effective APS, smaller than 35 millimeter, is at taking, landscape and nature shots, but the results might be pretty cool, and it'll be interesting to see how 200 speed film that expired in 2007 is 14 years later. Should be pretty interesting, so we'll see. APS film was originally marketed as the next advancement in film photography by Kodak and Fuji, and huge marketing budgets were poured into this film. A lot of people blame APS for the fall of film photography because it was an inferior format that the larger companies were pouring money into and wasting because people didn't switch over to it. APS film is 58% smaller than 35 millimeter film. It's never going to look as good. The film expired in 2007. So the results, I think, are pretty dependent on that. So yeah, let's jump in and take a look at the scans. So yeah, this is one of the images here. The photo is nice. I took some liberties with cropping. It shoots in a 16:9 format, but when you shoot, it has masks that cover the viewfinder, not the actual film. So you get 16:9 scans back that you then have the opportunity to crop to 4:6 or 4:11. I cropped this one down to 4:11 because this is how I shot it. I like this photo, but it's definitely soft all throughout. And there's some vignetting going on over here. There's some color casting. But overall, I think it's a fun way to shoot. It's definitely not the most technically strong. Here we've got, this is in the true 16:9 that it was shot in. I didn't crop this one. I just did some light toning, sharpened it. I like this photo. Again, there's a pretty heavy blue cast throughout it. I toned this one in color, played with the colors a little bit more to try and get it closer to what I think the light actually looked like that day. I'd say this is probably my favorite shot from the roll. Here's the horizontal version again, pretty heavy blue cast. This is another issue that I was having with the camera. After I got the scans back, my lab let me know that there was every 3 or 4 frames, there was this weird light-looking leak thing here. I don't think it's a light leak because it's only on a few frames. I think there's something going on in the camera where it's not feeding right or scratching the film. It's like a smudge almost, but again, it's fine. Here's another panoramic. This one is very soft throughout. There's a heavy cast. I think a lot of this has to do with that the film was just being underexposed. I like this one. It's got good shadow detail through here. Nice highlights, and there's the duck, of course, or yeah, duck, goose. I don't know anything about birds, but I think he was pretty pissed at me too. He must have had a nest. He was quacking quite loudly throughout when I was there. I was in and out of this area pretty quickly. I didn't want to piss the duck off, so. But I like this photo. I'm happy with the green, how the green's rendered throughout this. I think it looks pretty good. I'd say actually these frames of the grass here with the mountain or the hills in the back look pretty good. This one I shot without flash, I believe. Again, here's this smudge, but this one rendered the highlights and shadow. This one retained a lot of the detail. I think this was a pretty flat scene. There wasn't a lot of light leaking through here, so it kind of rendered pretty nicely. Again, really soft image. I like this composition. I wish I had a panoramic camera to shoot this on. But again, heavy vignetting over here, color casting. It's like almost purple down here, but this is like the actual tone of the sand. The greens look nice here, but then drop off here and here. It's just very soft throughout. The autofocus feels really fast on the camera, but I don't think it's actually very good. Again, really soft, no light. It's pretty much a throwaway. I don't mind this one. Again, the light kind of came through in the middle nicely, but there's a lot of vignetting going on. I think that's just because of the 24mm lens on the camera. And it's I think it was a cheap camera just to begin with. It was like a $70 camera when it released. Fun little point and shoot image that I kind of used this roll to fill it out a little bit with some shots of friends. This is my friend Sammy holding 2 clementines. But I think this camera works well in this format where it's going to be flash on, like plenty of light for it to capture. It's going to render colors nicer. I don't think I would use this camera again really for landscape shooting, just because it's so soft. But here the sharpness is actually pretty good. There's a nice definition around the lines. Another throwaway image here. This one is another panoramic that I think I like the composition of, but again, it's just very like dark here in the corners. But this one I used flash on, and I like this image a lot. I think the flash here really accentuates the green of the grass, and it complements up here very nicely. I actually like the 16:9 frame. I didn't think I would. But it's a kind of a different way to look at vertical photography, I think. Portrait orientation photography. Again, I think this is the stronger one with these grass very like brightly lit up. in the forefront. This one is a little bit more spread out. There's a nice line here that heads up towards this mountain. This one I'm not happy with, but I thought I would show it. Yeah, so that's everything from the video. Overall, would I suggest anyone seek out an APS camera and film right now to start shooting film on? No, absolutely not. It's not a great way to do this. You'd have much better luck finding a cheap point and shoot 35mm camera or a nice SLR. So I would think spend your money on that. But when I saw this deal from miraculously showing up a day after I found this camera for 14 rolls of this expired film, I said I have to try this and make a video about it. And overall, I think it was a fun experience. I'm going to continue to shoot it. I think I'm going to try and make a zine of all my favorite shots from all 14 rolls of film that I have. I don't think it's going to be anything special. It'll be like I'll probably sell it for $10 and have it be something small, just a bunch of, compiled frames of some of my favorite stuff that I've collected. More like an observational work than a true photography work, I guess. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Hopefully this video is a little bit more entertaining than the last one. I know the Holga video was very informative, and I'm happy with how it came out. I just don't think it was the most engaging because it was just me talking to the camera about the Holga. This one, I've gotten over the hump of being worried about going out and shooting in public and filming myself doing it. Definitely a weird first step to take, but I'm excited to do more of it now. And I've got a few other video ideas lined up, some other weird cameras, some more out there stuff. Plus, I'd like to start making some videos about cameras that are maybe a little bit more popular in the future. And if you have any suggestions about how I can make these videos better or videos that you'd like me to make, just shoot a message my way, and we'll hopefully I can get those made. I'm hoping to get on a schedule of releasing videos every week or so right now. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.